Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn about the slave occasion poem by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, the name of the writer. Uh, First of all, I would like to tell you about this is the slave occasion poem. Occasion means here lila in Marathi also we can say there is a but the occasions we can in the market there's a fruit market also there is also occasion also so that type occasion but here is occasion is different slave occasion. Now start the poem. There is opening of the occasion. What is the situation described by our poets? The sale began, young girls were there. Now selling is start now. My occasion is start now. The sale began, young girls were there. There is a beautiful young girl there. Defenses in the wretchedness. These girls defend their, we can say their weakness. Means what type of there is a physical weakness, there is a do not force or face the such a critical situation. That's why there depends in the richness is there is a weakness, we can durbalta in Marathi we can say that, who stipples of their deep despairs. There's a crying like that, we can cry out your words emotion out of your body, but there is a you are crying like that, sobs of deep despair. Stippled means like when sobs taken under in front of the body, but do not cry out or you do not say your expose your crying out of your body, reveal their anguish and deceive. You do not show, reveal me show means you do not out of your body, you cannot crying loudly. That is mean there is anguish, uh, there is sadness, distress, there is a worry, there is a disrespectful atmosphere in that. Means there is a situation created by or described about the means a young girls slave occasion, and that young girl says what is the atmosphere of that particular level. Means the young girls depends like they do not utter any words to say to that person, or there is a we can say there is insult, there is a anguish, there is a bad movement. We can say we can use another adjective to be because you got it. What is the situation? There is a slave occasion and that girls will stand there, there is crying but do not utter any word from the body. You do not say, there is anguish, there is a disrespectful, there is a we can say bad moment, bad situation to that particular event. Now second stanza, and the mothers stood with the streaming eyes, but there is another mother with the streaming eyes, we can say there is a uh, crying eyes, we can say there is eyes also flow, there is crying and the mother stood there but do not utter any word, and saw their dearest children sold, and their mothers saw that there is a dearest beautiful children's are going to sale. Unheeded rose their bitter cries, unheeded, and that situation, the we can arrogant situation rose their bitter cries, and there is a rising out the bitter crying and crying like that, while trans bartered from them for gold. And this trines mean there is a oppressive king. Trines means there is oppressive kings bartered them. Barters means give and take, we can sold any things like that, them for gold, these girls sold for the any other person. So second stanza, there is a mother is stand there and this crying also, and this mother just saying that there is a no utter any word, and in front of that lady or mother do not say any word, and also unheeded rose and their bitter cries, they also crying that mother while trying to barter them for gold. And this barter person, there is a give and taker person also, these girls sold for the gold. And next stanza, and woman with her love and truth. And the situation there is girls also in that. um, he also reminded that those event with her love and truth, and for this is symbol from their devil. And there is a happening moment is remember that girls and gaze on the husband on her youth. And that time that girls like a bride, and that time there's her husband looking to her. Gaze means we can say there is a looking in continuously the gaze, a husband for youth. And that youth situation, this girl's very beautiful, but now there is a situation is different. The anguish none may paint or tell, and there is a distress. If there is a bad moment, we do not say or paint or tell anything. Means here is a critical situation of that particular girl. And then whose soul crime was there, Hugh, and main whose soul crime was there. And also there is a man and woman also soul there. There's a slave occasion. If you try to understand the post-colonial studies, that there is a slavery, we can say there is a, we can say find a slavery oppressive, that these are adjective we can find in, or these types of characteristics we can find in the post-colonial studies. They're impressed of their maker's hand, and these girls also impressed for the maker's hand and trial and shrieking children. And that girls or children also crying that were gathered in that mournful band. And there's also gathered in the mournful band, but it's not a beautiful situation. In the when you we can say that we can when you good situation we can uh, take a atmosphere, but here we can say there is a atmosphere is different. You can say there is atmosphere different. There is a critical situation. While shirking children too, children also crying that situation. We gathered in mournful band, means that person is dead, and that situation we are gathered means slave occasion is like a dead person's atmosphere situation. There is a describe about the poet. Ye who have laid your love to rest. There is a time of the love, you have to rest now and weep above their lifeless clay. And there is a lifeless like a clay. Admi khilona hai. This is a song of the Minakshi Sheshadri, song on Minakshi Sheshadri. So there is a life, we can say there is a life is beautiful, but now there is life is not beautiful. This love to rest. There is no love in life. There is no rest. Let your love to rest, but the situation is different. Wait about that there is lifeless clay. Means lifeless clay, आदमी खिलौना है, like that. Means about there is life, no, not anguish or that breast. Where me in heart there is a no love, no want to live for life, but the situation is danger, and there is a uh, in heart there is no love, whose love are rudely torn away. जो कुछ अपने अंदर प्यार था वो भी हो क्या हो गए, मर गए. You do not show the love to the others. Means critical situations describe about the poet. He may not know how desolate is. How how can say there is a life is like vanish. There is no meaning of that life. Our brooms rudely forced to part. There is a bottom of the heart. There is no love, no uh, good movement in life, and the now situation is a very critical. And how a dull and heavy weight, जड पावलं नाही ज्याला जड अंतकरण नाही आपण म्हणतो, वी कॅन सेट देर दॅट ॲटमॉस्फिअर विल प्रेस द लाइफ ड्रॉप्स फ्रॉम द अर्थ. जैसे कि ज़िंदगी छूट रही है अपने हाथों से, क्या हो रही है, ज़िंदगी छूट रही है. मीन्स there is a critical situation, we can say there is a slave occasion of the girls, and there is one situation, the girl is standing. The first stanza, the girl is standing, and that situation describe about the poets. And there is a next stanza, the mother stood. The describe about the mother situation. And there is a third stanza, there is a describe about the love truth of that young young time of that girl. And and next one, there is also huge occasion of the occasion of the male and female in that particular situation, and that situation is like a deadful person atmosphere. And next answer, there is love, there is no love in the heart, they want to rest now. No love in heart, and there is life is like a vanish. And the next stanza, you may not know how dissolved. How can say there is love, life is dissolved? Dissolved means there is a udvast, we can say that mm, destroy. Life is like a destroy. There is no blossoms event in life. Forced apart, and how a dull heavy weight means heart is heavy, there is a foot is heavy. No can say life drops, the life is vanish, and life is going on to finish. There is no incident in life, no uh, beautiful or good in life. So there is a slow occasion. And now Franz Ellen Harper, the poem The Slave Occasion. Now there's some analysis. Trace the cruel inhuman process of slave trade from the perspective of the victims. Means there is a treats and cruel inhuman process of slave trade from the perspective of the victim. What is the victim situation that particular event? And hence after I will analyze the rhetorical device in order to highlight their role in conveying the poet's message to the target group. And there is also address the poet in the target group. Those are uh, on that process of that particular person. To begin with, the poems from shall be analyzed. It is composed 24 verses with the end, rhyme end, and matching rhyme scheme is alternative rhymes, while the fruit is represent the lamb. I'm There is also some rhetorical question also asked by the poet. And there is a use of the figure of speech in that particular area. Considering those facts, all these have the effect of the regularity and continuous, showing that slave occasion are already a part of the everyday life, and their slave occasion is a part of the everyday life in that particular country. And the number of words with negative connotation dominate, so the choice of word also convey the author's negative opinion towards the slave trade. And there is also try to describe about this negative opinion to the slave occasion or trade. The poem is not divided into stanza, and there is also some division here. And a result, there is a described as a result of this rhetorical devices, their apex gloomy mood is created. This feeling is supported especially by the figurative language, and concludes with this close correspondence between the content and the form is both convey the sorrowfulness of the slave. And slave action is not good, it's a sorrowful event for the particular person or event. And that's why I describe about the uh, poet of uh, poet Francis Allen Walking Harper. uh, the one person or the poet is described the slow occasion to particular level. And we can see the uh, slave begin, beautiful girl or whatever there is girls are trying to stand that particular event. And there is a mother's situation, there is a love of particular woman is no in life, disrespect, disrespectful, in respectful atmosphere. There is, we can't say there is a word that particular. And in the youth of that young girls was beautiful. Her husband was looking to her continuously, her beauty, and appreciate that beauty. But now life is a destroy. We do not say any word and change of that particular lever, and life is like destroy. Do not love truth. There is a beautiful event in life. So that's a beautiful, we can say beautiful poem, but that not a beautiful description and that particular level. So now I want to stop here. So next point we can see, next time we can see the next poem. So thank you very much. And if you any problems, you can ask my WhatsApp number or in group. Thank you very much.